This video will cover chapters 10 and 11 in your grammar book. It's passive with modals and stative passive. First, let's look at the modals. The modals, of course, are will and would, can, could, shall, should, may, might, must or have to, and ought to. Now, first we're going to be doing exercise 10-1 in your grammar book, and it's a long and rather complicated exercise. It has to do with the passive, and a few sentences are actually active of that particular exercise. I'm going to move this down a little so you can see it. It's on pages 58 and 59 in your grammar book. So let's look at those. Stop the video after each sentence and repeat them, or 2 or 3 sentences and repeat them, so you can get the pronunciation into your mouth. Here's the first one. The example is, Tom may have already been given something or other, this card, by one of his friends. Okay, here's the first one. Ronald should tell. Ronald should be told the good news as soon as possible if it's passive. Ronald should be told. Of course, it could possibly be active, in which it would be Ronald should tell the good news as soon as possible. That's difficult about these exercises. Remember that the answers are in the back of the book. Here's sentence number 2. Angela should have been driven to the airport half an hour ago, but it could be active. Angela should drive to the airport half an hour ago, or should be driven, passive. Number 3, someone should clean or should have cleaned the kitchen before dinner. 4, butter must be kept in the refrigerator or it will go bad. I think that's only passive. Butter must be kept in the refrigerator or it will go bad. Number 5, well, we tried talking to him, but he couldn't be convinced. He had already made up his mind. Yeah, that's only passive. He couldn't be convinced by us. We tried talking to him, but he couldn't be convinced. But number 6, though, we tried, but we could not open the window. We couldn't open the window. That's active. It can't be passive. We couldn't be opened? No, that doesn't make any sense. The window couldn't be opened, but we couldn't open it. Number 7, I'm so excited. IBM called me and I may be offered a job with them soon by somebody. I may be offered a job. Number 8, though, the computer firm that Stephanie interviewed with last week may not offer her a job, even though she had a good feeling about it. The computer firm is the active agent. So the computer firm may not offer her a job. That's an active sentence. Well, this is rather difficult. Number 9, I hope Bob accepts our job offer. He may already have been offered a job with another company. He may have been offered by somebody. He may already have been offered a job with another company. Number 10. It might be too late to call her with an offer. Another competing company may already have hired her. The company may have hired her. That's an active sentence. 11. Peter didn't expect to see his little brother at the party. He must have been surprised when he saw him drinking. He must have been surprised by his brother when he saw him drinking. And when you say it fast, you say, he must have been. He must have been surprised when he saw him drinking. Number 12. Today's the 8th, and his birthday was on the 2nd. Her birthday card, her birthday card? His birthday card. Her birthday card should have been sent a week ago. Let's say the birthday card should have been sent by me a week ago. Should have been sent. 13. His birthday is coming up next week. His present should be sent to his house soon. That's future, really. Should be sent, or will be sent if you're sure, or should be sent. Should be sent by me to his house soon. Number 14. Trisha had better clean her room before mom gets home. She had better clean. That's active. But in the next sentence, 15, Trisha, your room had better be cleaned by you. Your room had better be cleaned by the time I get home. Typical mom. Passive. Number 16. Tyler has to return these videos by tomorrow night. Tyler has to return these videos. He returns the videos. Active. Tyler has to return these videos by tomorrow night. How about 17 though? The videos, however, videos have to be returned by Tyler. The videos have to be returned to the video store by this afternoon. The videos have to be returned. 18. There are too many people in this class. It ought to be divided in two, but there are no more available classrooms. Well, good thing for online then. It ought to be divided by somebody. And 19, last semester's class. So that's past tense. Last semester's class was too large. It ought to have been divided in half. It ought to have been divided by somebody. So past with modal. It ought to have been divided. Boy, complicated. Now, the stative passive is the past participle of verbs like done, given, taught, and so on. They're a lot like adjectives. You can say, for example, someone locked the door. It's an active sentence. Somebody locked the door. Someone locked the door. Or the door was locked. That's a typical passive sentence. It was locked by somebody. But you can also say the door is locked. When you say the door is locked, that means the situation now, and in the past somebody locked it. So now the door is locked. That's a lot like saying the door is big, the door is blue, the door is yellow, the door is locked. So you use the past participle, and that's called a stative passive, to form that adjective. And then we have some funny things with bored and boring. For example, somebody comes to me and she says, "Oh, teacher, I'm so boring." And I, of course, have to laugh a little because that means that she bores me. It's actually active. If she's boring, then she is boring me, right? Which is not what she meant. What she really meant was, "Teacher, I'm so bored." Right? That's what it means. So when you want to say I'm bored, that means I'm bored by you. If you say I'm boring, that means I bore you. So of course, naturally, in this case, you wanted to say, "Teacher, I'm so bored." Or I'm confused, I'm interested, whatever I am. I'm interested by it or in it. I'm interested with, you can also say that. Go ahead and do the exercises 11.1 and 11.2. Stop the video and do those exercises before you continue. Now, the thing with all these verbs that can be used in stative passive is that they have certain prepositions. So it's a very good idea to practice learning the prepositions that go with the verb every time you learn a new verb. There's a link in this class to a long list of verbs that can be used in the stative passive, which is like an adjective, and the prepositions that go along with them. In the book, though, there are only, I think, 17 of these, and they are to be accustomed to, acquaint with, composed of, cover with, dedicate to, devote to, disappoint in or with, dress in, finish with, interest in, make with, marry to, oppose to, relate to, satisfy with, scare of, and tire of. Most of these are used in the past participle accustomed to, acquainted with, composed of, and so on. A few of them can be both. They can be the ing form, called the gerund, or the ed past participle form. These, of course, will only be the ones on your little quiz because they are the only ones in the textbook, not the whole long list. So, therefore, what we would want to do now, there we go, let's make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, okay. Good. So what we're going to do now is to do one more exercise, and that particular exercise is the one on page, see if I can find it. Aha, page 65. Okay, here goes. Page 65. It's exercise 11-4. The example is a smoothie is made with fruit and ice, fruit juice and ice. All right, let's look at the next one. The next one is water, hydrogen, and oxygen, and the verb is compose. So you say water is composed of hydrogen and oxygen. 2, George is interested in Greek history. 3, he is accustomed to living on his own. He is accustomed to living on his own. My mom is scared of large dogs. I am satisfied with the progress we have made this past week. 6, it's autumn and the country roads are covered with, you can actually say covered in also, are covered with leaves. We are opposed to that policy. It's unfair to the immigrant workers. We are opposed to something. Josh Davis is finished with his composition. Reuben is married to Eleanor. That means his state right now. He is married to her. He married her, that's the active, sometime in the past, and now he is married to her. I am not acquainted with that author's work. She's in a bad mood because she's tired of doing nothing. 12, is your last name really Kennedy? Are you related to the Kennedy family? Well, yeah, some Kennedy family, but not the famous one. Number 13, Steve works for an animal shelter. He is dedicated to his work. The Chicago Bulls lost to a much weaker team. They are disappointed in themselves. Are disappointed in themselves. Number 15, I'm not as brave as you think. I'm scared of the noises in my own room. Oh, poor baby. Number 16, the administration is dedicated to improving public education. Sarah and I are devoted to each other. And Mark is dressed, or maybe was dressed, in his best suit for his sister's wedding. And that's it. Thank you very much, and we will see you with the next fabulous grammar video.